All right, you guys, welcome back to another edition of the Diggie A-2 podcast. I am your host once again, Diggie A-2, Rob Dalby, aka Rob D, aka Rob D, and the place to be. So we are continuing on with our journey of interviewing independent artists, and one of the most talented independent artist that we've come across a long time is King James Worthy. Man, this brother has done it all. I don't know if you all have seen his work, but it seems like the brother does a little bit of everything. He has done acting, he's done TV, he's done music, he's had production skills, he's writing, like he has done it all. The whole gambit of entertainment. James has had a small piece in, and he has taken time out of his busy schedule to sit down and talk to us with our latest edition here of the New Class. So the New Class is our playlist for us interviewing independent artists, and James is next on the list, and I want to bring him in, and I want you all to meet James. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. King James Worthy in the building. Brother, what's good? Talk to the people, man. What's happening?
What's up, man? What's going on?
All right, what's good with you, man? So, wow, brother, you are from my hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. Well, that's where you are, right? That's where I'm from. Yeah. You're from New York, correct? So what borough do you represent out of New York?
Well, I'm from Queens, New York.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's where my family grew up in. So I got a lot of roots in Queens. I'm kind of like a weirdo, man. When I was growing up in Atlanta, I listened to a lot of East Coast hip hop, like Tribe Called Quest, Native Tongues. And they were like, man, why you listen to that stuff? You from around the way. Like, it was weird. But anyway, man, but nice to have you on tonight, brother. And man, I'm just going to jump right into it, man. I really am interested to hear your perspectives on certain topics. And we're going to start with the beginning. How does one become King James Worthy? How did all this start?
How did all this start? Well, I mean, being from Queens, New York, it was just kind of like an inevitable kind of thing to where, like, I was always around music, and I was always around, like, you know, OGs and you know, legendary artists just, you know, around the way. So it was kind of like me just being around, just soaking up information and watching how they moved and did things. And then my dad, he did a lot of security work for a lot of mainstream artists too. So just kind of around that, meeting different people. And I just kind of caught the music bug like real early, you know. Like I used to read credits a lot, used to, you know, read, you know, music entertainment books a lot, go to record stores every weekend, just try to soak up as much knowledge as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And really the initial forte was songwriting. So I initially started as a songwriter and, you know, just sharpening my pen, you know, with melody structure, you know, chord structure, song structure, and all that, which kind of turned into the production later on.
That's what's up, man. So my next area that I want to talk about is why indie? Why not be signed to a major label? You have so much talent. Why be independent? What is the advantage of you being independent as opposed to being on a major label? Why indie?
Well, I mean, throughout my career, I've been signed to major labels before,
okay,
and you know, all different situations. But you know, where I am right now, it just has to be the right situation and the right deal. Because I see a lot of times artists just take any type of deal that gets offered, and it's not the best situation. You know, you get locked into something that you really don't want, or you know, it's not in your favor. So, you know, I'm pro ownership. You know what I mean? So if I can't really sustain or own my own work, then it really doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? And a lot of times now people can have the resources themselves. You know what I mean? You really don't need a full major label to move like you're a major artist.
Yeah. And what you talking about that, it kind of made me think about, you know, the music industry in general right now. It's not what it used to be 10 years ago, you know what I mean, where you had to sell albums. I mean, now it's all about the streaming and the singles and having a hot song, and like times have changed a lot. So how do you adapt with the changing times of music? How do you adapt, you know, with being able to approach music doing that? How's that work for you?
Well, I kind of saw it coming like real early. I mean, you know, when downloading was first available, like that was the first phase of streaming, you know. So you had these third-party websites that you can download music for free, and then, you know, sales and physical sales, you know, started plummeting. So the record labels had to shift into other business ventures to keep up. Right. So now we're just seeing a more advanced version of that. Yeah. But, you know, album sales and record sales still exist. They still matter, but, you know, we're just in a digital era. So, you know, more so there's streaming platforms now. So you can sign up for one, you know, some you have to pay a subscription for, and some of them are free. And it's a huge library of music that you can choose from. But in order to, you know, people still like to have those copies in their hand. Yeah. You know, people still like to go to the store. You know, people still like vinyl. So those are still around. But, you know, we're just in the digital space right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting you bring that up, man. Vinyl is making a comeback, my dude. Like, what is going on, man? Like, I grew up on vinyl, and I was going to the store the other day, and I saw Dr. Dre's The Chronic on vinyl. I was like, oh, my God. Like, this is, like, priceless now. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of bringing back, like, you know, it's music coming full circle, just as you mentioned, man. Like, you know, and who knows what'll be, will CDs come back? Like, who knows what that physical, you know, like, there's something about having something physical in your hand to like feel good about music, you know what I feel you on that, man. And just the digital age, and we'll see what the next 10 years will look like, what music will you know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it adapts and you know, progresses, you know, into the future. So you have done so much in regards to artistry. So who are your inspiration? Who are your musical inspirations? Who inspires you, or what inspires you to do your art?
You know what? That's an interesting question always, because my list is so diverse, and people always like, they're so, I don't want to say confused, but they're like, just like sometimes lost for words when I say these names. So like, I was a huge Houdini fan. Rest in peace from Houdini. That was
shout out to Ecstasy, man. Rest in peace.
Tribe Called Quest, Now Rodgers, Chic, Diplo, Max Martin, Quincy Jones, Q-Tip, Organized Noise. Man, it's a lot. Bangladesh, Pharrell Williams, Timbaland. It's a lot.
Yeah, you got a lot. You got a lot, man. That's what's up. I think that's dope, man. I think as an artist, you know, and I call, you know, whatever genre of music that you create, I call everybody artists, because everybody creates art. I always equate music to a piece of art on the wall. You know what I mean? This is your creation. It's the same thing if you think about it. You know what I mean? Your pen strokes, or how you create, how you write, it's just like art, as if it was on a wall and you're just watching it, except you're listening to it instead. It's the same kind of like parallel. So I think that's dope, man. Having different inspirations, being exposed to different types of music. You can come up with all kinds of different things, man. But your music is so soulful, man. Like, you got like an old soul. I don't know where it comes from or what inspires that. I don't know if it's from your family, but when I listen to your music, it's like a throwback of like, oh my God, like I'm listening to like Stevie Wonder, or like the Songs in the Key of Life kind of sort of, or maybe Maxwell, or a little bit, you know what I mean, from the mid 90s. I'm like, this brother does a little bit of it all. So I think that's dope, man. So, but now it makes sense, you know, talking to you, you know what I mean? Like, you have so many different inspirations where that sound kind of comes from. So that makes sense. I got that, man. That's what's up. So what do you like doing more, James? Do you like acting or music? Which one do you prefer doing? Which one gives you the most joy?
I mean, they all give me joy, you know, because they're all expressions, you know what I mean? And like you said, we all create art, so it's just a different art form in different ways, you know? So, and each one might give me a different feeling, or I just might be in a space to focus on one at a certain point in life, and then I'll go to the next one, or choose to do something else, you know? But it's all what I like to call artistic expression, you know? So I just love what I do, you know?
That's what's up, man. So what has been your favorite acting piece of art, and what's your favorite piece of music that you've created? So what's your favorite acting gig, and what's your favorite piece of music that you've created?
I really enjoyed being a part of this this movie that I was in called Love by Chance. And it was actually the first movie I've ever done that I was in, which was kind of star-studded. I mean, I was acting alongside like Clifton Powell, Terry Vaughn, Carl Payne. It was really, really cool. You know, I really didn't even expect it, but it was really, really tight. And musically, it's hard to say musically, man, because, you know, I've done so much stuff, and it's hard for me to even pick a favorite artist that I've dealt with, because they're all in so many different lanes and different ways of working and blah blah blah. But I would probably say like my most favorite for myself would probably be the Blue Leisure project so far.
Nice. That's the one over here off to my right hand side back here. If y'all check out Blue Leisure, check out Kaleidoscope, check out all of James Worthy's music. His catalog is deep. It's nice. It's like a good R&B feel, man. I love it, yo. I love it. I listened to a lot of your stuff before I got on today, and usually when I interview artists, I listen to everything. So I listen to it all, whatever stuff I can find, I'm gonna listen to it. So I kind of get into the artist's state of mind when they're making that music. But I am not an artist. I never was a rapper. I never was any of that stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just a fan of music. That's how I came to be a podcaster. So that's what got me to the journey. But it led me to you. So I'm super grateful for that, brother.
No problem.
With that in mind, man, so you've done collaborations with all different types of star-studded actors, actresses, musical, powerhouse musical artists and things like that. So what is your dream collaboration? I'll give you two. I'll be nice to you, brother. You're cool, man. I'll give you two. Who are your two dream collaborations that you have not done yet? Because you've collaborated, it feels like everybody. When I saw your catalog, I'm like, man, this brother pretty much done it without everybody. So he's got to have two that he hasn't touched on yet. So who are your two dream collaborations, James?
Dream collabs. I mean, rest in peace, Michael Jackson. That's the ultimate right there.
Sure.
But right now, I would definitely say Kanye West. Would love to do something with him.
Okay.
And I would probably say The Weeknd.
Interesting. Okay. Very different contrasting styles. I like The Weeknd. I think, when I used to listen to The Weeknd, I think of Prince. I don't know why. I equate The Weeknd and Miguel with Prince. They're just like, they have a style like that Prince kind of had.
And Miguel is in that conversation too.
Yeah. I love Miguel.
It's hard to just narrow down.
You know what I mean? Like, he's so smooth, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think of like that equates to Prince. You know what I mean? So I think that's dope, man. But yeah, all right, that's cool, bro. That's cool. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, all right, now let's switch gears a little bit. Let's have a conversation around R&B, rhythm and blues, the music genre itself. It appears, not by me, but a lot of my peers, a lot of people within the music industry feel that R&B music, as we used to know it, is on life support. What is your opinion about that, James? What do you think the state of R&B music is right now?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's on life support. I think that sometimes it gets overshadowed by other things that's not traditional music or R&B, so to speak. Or just not even just that genre, just music, period. Yeah. And, sometimes those artists get drowned out by what's in the mainstream. So people aren't going to, do the due diligence and research and find out, what's new and current. So someone could feel like that, which there's a lot of great music out. And there's a lot of dope artists that's putting out quality music. But sometimes you may not hear it on the mainstream radio in rotation as other songs, or you may not. It may not get as much media attention as it should, or X, Y, and Z. So I don't think it's left, or I don't think that there's a lack of it. I just think that it's not being publicized enough.
Yeah, I think there's a couple different layers with that, and I definitely want to hear your take on this. With the layers, what I mean is, the pandemic. I think the pandemic has changed a lot, so we don't see a lot of music on TV, like hardly at all. Like, we don't have any, we had the BET Awards, which is, like our shining moment as a culture of Black people. We didn't have that. That was virtual. And, like, it just doesn't feel right anymore, which I was hoping, or I'm hoping that in 2021, is when all those bottled up feelings everybody's been suppressed on, getting beat down by COVID or getting beat down financially or whatever the case may be, that there's going to be some great musicality coming out in 2021. So I'm really, really hopeful. But yeah, I mean, to your point, there's a lot of dope R&B artists that are out there killing it. It's just, to your point, it's not pushed up to the front as much as it used to. You know what I mean? Like, we think about 80s R&B, 90s R&B, 2000 R&B, like you can equate like certain artists with that time periods of music, but not so much now. Like, we don't have like that go-to person for R&B because, to your point, R&B has evolved so much that you can't really put it in a box anymore. But I think it's great. I think it's great, actually. Like, I just want to get your opinion about that. What is your take on R&B and its expansion? Like, are you more of a purist of R&B, or do you like the way that R&B is going in regards to how it sounds now?
I like both sides, to be honest with you. I love the traditional R&B, and then I like, what's going on now too. Like, I feel like it's a lot of creativity going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like, there's certain artists that know how to blend things and know how to incorporate other, sounds and genres into R&B itself.
Yeah.
And, just experimenting too. Like, music is limitless. So, I'm seeing a lot of people just experimenting with different things and, not just doing the traditional stuff all the time, because that's already been done. So it's just about elevation.
Yeah, it's about music, I hear you. I think it's about the like, to your point, evolution. So someone has created a style of music. Why would you want to mimic what's already been out? Let's go a different route.
Exactly.
Let's make something new. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel that, man. But brother, when I listen to your music, though, it flashes me back to what R&B, like the essence of R&B is what I equate King James's your music to, is the essence of R&B. Like, when you put on one of your tracks, it's like, man, this is what R&B is. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I feel about that. Because I love hip hop to death, but deep down inside, I'm an R&B kid, man. I really am an R&B kid to death. But it's just like, when I listen to your music, I'm like, yeah, okay, that's what R&B is supposed to sound like. You know what I mean? Like, so I appreciate that, and taking it serious, man, and like, not compromising yourself or your art, just for the sake of making a buck. You know what I mean? You don't seem to be the type of chasing after money. Money is nice, great things, having material is nice, you know what I'm saying? But it's about not giving up your character for your art. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty important to do that. So, all right, James, my last question, brother, and it's always the most important question that I ask every individual artist that I talk to, and that is the future. What is your future? How do you want your future to look like, and what do you want your legacy to look like?
Well, right now I'm in the process of working on my debut album for this year, and that's kind of like the beginning of what I want to start my legacy. Even though I have so much already that I can't already do that, but this is just like a pivotal moment for me. Yeah. So where, like, it's kind of like any artist, like your debut album is like your firstborn, so to speak. So, this project is really, really special. And I think it's gonna like show people that not only am I here to stay, but I'm showing so much of variety in what I'm talking about, what you're gonna hear, and what it's gonna represent. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those artists where I just kind of put out a project just to put out a project. Yeah. And it means nothing. Like, both my bodies of work thus far are theme projects, and they both have meanings to them. So this project is just a continuation of that, but just on a higher level. But, it's a project to inspire people and, show people that, I really love what I do, man. Like, it's not a gimmick thing. It's not a attention seeking thing. Like, this is what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's genuine, man. And I think that's heartfelt. And I think that we as fans are going to appreciate that. You know what I mean? Like, we appreciate that, artists that are genuine to their craft and do it and just say, hey, this is my interpretation of my art. Here it is to the world. And but you know what? Sometimes, what to go along with that, James, it does open you up to, if you're being vulnerable, if you're doing introspective kind of music. So can you give us a little bit of what the premise of the album is going to feel like, what's going to look like? Or is that kind of like, G14 classified right now?
No, man. I mean, it's definitely it's an eclectic album.
Nice.
So it's a lot of different tempos, different styles, not too far left, but definitely showing the range in bending genres and the writing as well. So I'm way more vulnerable on this album than I ever been before.
Nice.
Talking about a lot of different things, whether it's personal, whether it's just about life or scenarios that maybe I've seen that can coincide with me. And kind of the same how I've done with Blue Leisure and Kaleidoscopes, but this one is just on a different level.
That's what's
And
up, man. And when do we anticipate this piece of art dropping on the world? Do you have like an expected time window? Maybe Q2, Q3, or
I'm
when we
thinking
gonna get
towards
it?
the summer, probably
Okay,
towards the summer.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's up, man. Well, I'm gonna be tuned in. I'll be waiting on you, bro, because yeah, I'm a fan of your work. But ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
this is all that we have with King James Worthy, and we're gonna end the show off with shout out. So, King James Worthy, my brother, who are you shouting out this week, man?
Who am I shouting out? Man, shout out to all my fans first and foremost.
Sure.
Thank you so much for rocking with me from day one to now, and forevermore. Thank you. I want to shout out to my boy Ecstasy from Houdini. Rest in
Word.
peace.
Rest in peace. No doubt. No doubt.
Big inspiration to my career. I want to give a shout out to all my family, all my friends, and shout out to you guys.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I appreciate it, man. We love you, man. Like, I'm a fan, and yeah, and of course, shout out to Ecstasy, man, who was a hip hop pioneer of Houdini. I actually did a podcast episode on Houdini because of their significance to the culture of hip hop. So rest his soul. He was a great, just a great
Man,
guy.
great
I never
person,
met
man.
him in person, but I can imagine he had like
Yeah.
the big smile. He had the big personality, man.
Man, the crazy thing about him, man, is if you didn't even know he was a part of Houdini, you would just think he was a regular person.
Yeah,
Like that's how humble he was. Like I had to boost him up because he wouldn't do it.
that's what's up, man. Like you got to remind folks, man, you're like a legend, dude, and you know
He was a walking legend, man. You know,
absolutely,
I used to tell him
man.
that all the
Absolutely.
time.
No question, man. Well, James, thank you for spending time with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you all King James Worthy. He is coming. He's already here. He's coming for you all again with some more music here in 2021. And James, we appreciate your time. So shout out to you. Shout out to your fan base. And as always, for our listeners, shout out to all you guys. And of course, salute. Shout out to hip hop. All right, y'all be easy. 100. Peace.